Good evening and welcome to Get Real with Rick Dancer. And we are going to take you on the road as we have been for the next couple of weeks. We're taking you on the road. Tonight, we're all over the place. We're in Wallowa County, we're over in Harney County, and we're down, I think Diamond's also in Harney County. So we've got a couple of places to show you. Hot Springs, a theater, a family that created this theater in Enterprise, Oregon. It's just amazing. And then the Diamond Hotel. Great food, great place. Our sponsors tonight, Elements Health Club. They have three locations, one in Springfield on Gateway. They have one at Oakway in Eugene, and they have one on West 11th in Eugene. They sponsor travel. They love just people being healthy. And part of being healthy is getting around and meeting people. Also, Chris Dental Family Dentistry, where everyone is welcome. Dr. Bratlin is a friend of mine. He's also my dentist. If you're looking for an appointment, you need to make them now because they're booking up. So get in there, get your appointment made because everybody's back to school. So now they realize, oh yeah, I need to get my teeth worked on. So anyway, Dr. Bratlin is a great sponsor. We love having him with us. So let's get in the car and go. So I got my travel t-shirt on. So let's start off and let's go to Crane Prairie.
Kreger. I'm Dan and Denise's daughter. My family has owned the hot springs for 21 years.
So tell me about this place. How many acres, that kind of stuff? Just a little.
It's 400 acres. So the hot springs itself has been here forever. Rumor has it that the Indians actually traveled through here, and this was a major stopping point for them. And so they'd stop and wash their clothes and use it for cooking. They skinned pigs here from the hot water because the water was that hot back in the day. Now we keep the water a consistent 100 degrees. In the wintertime, we'll bump it up to 101, 102. So we have 3 entry points. Hot water comes in at anywhere between 135 and 165. And we have many different wells on the property. We actually don't have cold water on our property, so we have to take the hot water and turn it into cold water, which is why we have the big tower behind me, which sprays the water into the air and cools it back down. And that's how we create our cold water.
How many rooms, beds, teepees, all that kind of stuff?
We have 21 lodging units. We've got 3 teepees, a sheep herder's wagon, 2 larger units for families or friends. We have 5 suites, and then we have our basic rooms, which are pet friendly. So we've got 30 camping sites and about 10 RV sites. So they bought it in 1997. I was 10 when we moved here, on Christmas Day, in fact.
What do you love about this place?
Everything. It is so peaceful out here. I grew up here, so I have a special connection to the place. This has always been my happy place. I learned to swim in this pond. I was actually baptized in this pond. It's a really special place. When you come out here, it's the middle of the night. You can look up, you stargaze. There's nothing more peaceful than swimming in the pond. I feel very lucky and fortunate, not only to be able to work here, but to live here and have a family connection here. It's beautiful. I mean, you can look at it and see how gorgeous it is. And you said you got to sit in the pond this morning when the sun's rising and the birds are waking up and they're chirping. It's amazing.
So a 33-year-old woman in Burns, Oregon, in Eastern Oregon, what draws people to this place to stay here? What is it that urban Oregon doesn't understand? What kind of give me that?
I would say the fact that we're so quiet out here. You don't know what quiet is until you come to Oregon, especially Southeast Oregon. You don't know how much light pollution you have in the city until you come out to this area. And you look up and you see the amount of stars that you never knew even existed.
You ever moved to urban Oregon?
No.
Health clubs, you get more than a workout. You get results-driven fitness and nutrition help no matter where you're starting in your health journey. You get luxury club benefits like a heated pool, hot tub, sauna, steam room, and wellness centers. You get academy-level group training classes like HIIT, boxing, TRX, and barbell strength. And your kids get childcare centered around movement with activity and a purpose. You get 3 convenient locations with 1 membership. All the amenities of a luxury health club with the membership prices of a neighborhood gem. Elements Health Clubs, we are more than a workout.
Okay, this next story is kind of like
theater.
Kind of like the King family. It's a theater in Enterprise, Oregon. This family moved in. They're all super musically talented, bought the place, and turned in what was an old theater into now a theater where you can have productions and movies and all sorts of stuff. We did this story a couple years ago. Watch this. This is an awesome family.
We are in downtown Enterprise, Oregon. I'm Rick Dancer.
I'm Kathy Dancer.
And we want to thank our sponsors, Toyota and your Northwest Toyota dealers, and
The Wallowa County Chamber of Commerce.
My name is Bart Budwig, and I'm going to play a song called Damn Good Start that I wrote.
all right.
Howdy, easy cowboys.
Oh, wow, look at that. I bet you used to stand behind there, didn't you, Judy? All right. Here's the guy. So tell us who you are.
Daryl Brand, how are you?
We're doing well, thanks. I had no idea this is what it was. So tell me about your family, and I mean, you're a contractor, and you just happen to have a musical note, too.
Yeah, we play some music. I grew up in a musical family back in Maine, where I'm originally from, and I drove through here literally 20 years ago this month in August, and ended up, through that trip, getting a job at a ranch and married the rancher's daughter.
Oh, there we go. I married the rancher's daughter, and now I got a theater.
He's also a lawyer, but you gotta have. But so we met literally 20 years ago, and we were married in 2000, and moved back down to Wallowa County in 2001. Bought the OK Theater in 2013, and it's just been kind of a fun ride ever since. We've been family.
So show us inside. Give us a little tour. Come on, you guys.
We've recently been doing some remodeling over the last couple of years. We were awarded a historic Main Street grant, and we were able to add things to the theater that never been done. We've added a new heating system, first floor ADA restrooms, and rewired most of the whole building. And then we, over the last two winters, we added what's the proscenium and opera boxes here. So,
Oh, man.
so we keep picking away. We've gotten a majority of the work done, but it's a kind of a labor of love and lots to get done.
Yeah, damn good start. Howdy, ease a wandering heart. Walk out the door is a damn good start. It's a damn good start. Yeah, damn good start.
So what are you trying to do with this?
So it had been closed for about a year. Movies were switching over to digital production, and we're a more music-oriented people, but we decided to start trying to bring in as high-quality musical acts as we could to the county. We had one of our first big successes was Eric Bibb out of Finland, and then Nikki Bloom and the Gramblers, and then from there, it just kept growing. The musical world is a small world, we found, and people reach out and reach back out to us. The West is a big place to cover, so bands are looking. We ended up being a very good kind of break between Boise and Portland.
Yeah, damn good start.
You three girls grew up in this town, and Judy on the end over here, your parents owned it.
My grandparents owned it. They bought it from Hackbarth's, many, many, many years ago. And my grandmother was an entrepreneur deluxe. She bought films directly from Portland. They came directly up here. They never stopped in between.
And we'd all have sleeping bags out and sleep a bit.
So what is it about Wallowa County?
Well, I love Wallowa County because it hasn't changed much over the years. And when we were growing up here in the 1950s, the main thing to do was to come to the movie theater. And they had great movies. And like I was saying a few minutes ago to my friends, I remember watching Gone with the Wind here, like in the 1950s.
So to see this,
It's marvelous. And I never miss a show. We have to thank the Brand family. They're a show in themselves with their music.
Well, I lay down last night. I tried to take my rest. I lay down last night, baby says I think I go and take a stroll out.
Why a theater?
Well, it's for us, I think it was the fact that it was a community space. We wanted to see something to bring, I don't know, 2012, wouldn't you say, Christy, that Enterprise felt a little depressed? You know, there was a few things happening. Wildcare had moved into town, and they were doing some good things, rebuilding their building. But it was just really quiet. And then when the movies went away, and we just felt like it'd be good to invest into our town. And it was a lot. I talked to Christy about it a lot, and you know, being as busy as we are with 5 kids and running a construction business, it was like, okay, this is a big undertaking, but we decided to do it, and it's been very rewarding, I'd say.
Yeah, we've had so many community members just rally around us and help out so much that it's been a wonderful experience.
What an economic development, and you know, not just for the community, but for like people like us coming into town, and you've got to be bringing people to town.
Yeah. Some of the big shows, like when we had Asleep at the Wheel, they're, you know, a 10 Grammy act out of Texas. I mean, we had a double sold out show, so 700 folks through in a day into the theater and then through town and staying places. So so buying the theater was definitely, we felt like we love the idea of a space where, I don't know, I think we've said this before, but there's so much division in the country and anywhere now. But I feel like at the theater, when everybody's focused on music or something, just enjoying a beer and some popcorn or whatever that they want to have, it's just been a fun experience to see people that I know of diverse background and thought, and sometimes from out of town and locals, and it just creates a really interesting atmosphere.
Said I went down, sit down to the church house. You know I got down on my knees to pray. You know I got down on my knees, pretty baby, said not a word to, not a word to, not a word to, not a word to say, not a word to say, not a word to say.
Oh my God, you're really good. That was awesome. I was like, dude, he's the real deal, man. Oh my God, that's really good. All right, so that was the OK Theater. I had no idea.
Another backstory that is absolutely amazing.
You guys, we know basically we're told there's this theater, you need to go in and we're going to find this, but that was just absolutely, that's what we love about Exploregon, is you get into the town for a few days and then you really start getting to the heart of some of the stuff that goes on, and that's because you start really understanding who the people are.
Yeah, and here you've got this theater and you've got a whole family who's musicians, and they're being able to use this as their backdrop to what they love and what they have a passion for. It's amazing.
And using an old theater that everybody remembers, renovating it, modernizing it, and then also using it to create community. That's what rural Oregon's all about, creating community, preserving it. We want to thank our sponsors, Wallowa County Chamber of Commerce.
And Toyota and your Northwest Toyota dealers.
Well, Toyota is not really a sponsor anymore. But Dr. Bratlin is.
Rick Dancer here. Before the fall rush sets in, now is the time to get in to see the dentist. Oregon's best dentist, and still my dentist, is Dr. Michael Bratlin at Chris Dental in Eugene. Dr. Bratlin and his staff are second to none. You have a tooth you need crowned? Give them a call and they'll get you in ASAP. Remember, at Chris Dental, everyone is welcome, vaccinated or not.
Well, now our last story tonight on this show. A little place, I don't know if it's still open, so don't swear on it, but Diamond, Oregon, down in Harney County, just near, kind of in between French Glen and Burns. And it's not much there, but what is there is amazing. And you hear really great comments from people who live in urban Oregon, or rural Oregon, in this next story. Listen.
Years ago we bought this. My great-grandparents ran it in the early 1900s, but then my grandpa was the sheriff and they had the ranch that I'm on, so they only ran it. They didn't own it. I am Gretchen Nichols, and my brother David Thompson and my mom Shirley Thompson, we bought this 20 years ago.
So what was this all that back in the day?
This was a hotel back in the day, 1898. the town of Diamond. There were probably 60 residents right here. It was a freight stop. That old building across the way over there that's what it used for. Just a lot of sheep herders would come by and stay in, just travelers through. I think they used to ship more sheep out of Crane, it was at the rail station, than they do out of New Zealand today, sheep and wool, seriously. And I think that was the railhead and was going to be the county seat. Something happened, Burns became the county seat, and then the main road went from Burns to Winnemucca.
So who comes here today?
We've got painters, photographers, a little bit of bird watchers in the spring. We have 9 rooms. We just added the log cabin you were looking at, and we built that it looks old, but we built it, added it on 25 years ago. We do breakfast is included with your room, and we do dinner by reservation.
So what do you love about this place?
Oh, we have made lifetime friends. We have people that have been coming for 20 plus years. That's the best. I like to cook. That's an add-on.
So what don't people understand about rural Oregon?
One of the things they don't understand, I know a lot of people think we are uneducated, which is probably one of the most irritating things that happens. A good share of the people here have a college degree with a bachelor's at least. We have some PhDs, very successful people. I'd say that's probably one of the biggest things.
Do you guys feel voiceless when intern?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. You can tell by the vote every year. Any year there's a big election, you can tell.
What would you hope for Oregon, especially in the climate we're in right now?
Ask Regine. Ask Regine that question. She's
Hey,
very
Regine.
well spoken. She
Come
was
here.
the teacher. He has a question.
Come here.
You get your little picture taken.
What would you hope for Oregon in the climate we're in right now? What would you hope for the state of Oregon?
That Salem will listen to us on the east side and most of the rural part of the state. The current legislation is not helping us.
Do you think people in rural Oregon just want to be left alone, sort of?
Yes. Leave us to our own devices. We've lived here, most of us, in these ranching communities for almost a century. Some of us have been here for a century. Our family has been. We care for the land because we live off of it. So it's not as though we're going to just destroy everything that we hold dear. So, yeah, leave us alone.
Leave us alone. A common theme in rural Oregon. And I think we did that 8 to 10 years ago. And it's like it was today. Or only today is probably worse. So hopefully their voices will be heard, along with a lot of other people who wake up in urban Oregon and start making sure that we get some balance in this state again. So anyway, well, that's it for tonight for this show. We will be back. Let me look here. I got to figure out which day I'm on. Yes, we will be back tomorrow. In fact, we have a really interesting couple of night stories. One on timber coming up on Thursday in Montana, what they're up against, the timber industry. And then tomorrow night, we have a gentleman who's a local man, an Oregon man, friend of mine, did a DNA test, and this one will blow your mind.